Right, thank you, Rich. Hi, I'm Anna Bickerton from the Boar, and I'm here with Ollie, the one and only candidate for VP Sports at the SU Spring Election 2025. Thank you for being here with me today, Ollie.
Thank you.
Thank you. What are your key manifesto pledges?
I've got two proper manifesto pledges, and I think those mainly focus around the economic and social barriers into sports. And I think one of the main reasons why me and a lot of other people on campus haven't been able to get into sports is because it just costs too much, simply. And so that's a really key focus of mine. Another is kind of the toxic and elitist culture around sports, specifically on campus as well, that push a lot of people away from it. So those are the two things that I really want to focus on if I'm elected.
Okay, that's how do you plan to make sports at Warwick more accessible to students, especially with regard to the prices of joining clubs and the ongoing cost of living crisis?
It's a good question. So I think a lot of people can afford to do sports, and that's brilliant for them. So I'm mainly going to be focusing on the people who maybe come from disadvantaged backgrounds and a bit underprivileged areas and things like that. So I want to try and establish a pot of money so that people can dip into it and take a bit of money out, apply for some funds, separate to any scholarship or any scheme that already exists, that will allow people to not just be desiring to be athletes, but to just get involved in sports who may not have the funds to do so. So that's one of the things I would do. I'd also work with the university to try and identify key areas where we can try and lower the costs to join in the gym, to higher venues, and then also work within the SU to try and lower the costs of the federation pass, and also talking to every single sports society on campus to try and see what the membership fee, why some membership fees are higher than others, and try and lower those as much as possible.
Thank you very much. If you were to be successful in running for sports officer, what would your strategy be for creating gender equality within sports at Warwick?
Again, another really good question. I would talk to a lot of the societies, and I know meetings aren't always the best way to solve things, but I think having good conversations and identifying problem events and culture, trying to also establish proper measures to stop societies from promoting sometimes harmful behavior and culture in sports. So, imposing sanctions on societies that don't do enough to stop toxic culture. I think we've had enough of this kind of, let's try and stop it before it happens, but without any proper action taking place. And I think I can absolutely, within my power as sports VP, try and impose sanctions and try and properly stop gender inequality and discrimination from happening. So, yeah.
Thank you very much. How will you ensure that sports clubs are more inclusive and more accessible to students who didn't play much or any sport before university?
I think what a lot of sports societies are doing are really, really good. So there's a lot of rock up and play type clubs on campus. So I know mixed netball do that, and a lot of football clubs you can just join without any kind of sports experience before, and that's brilliant. But a lot of them don't, and I think it's a real tragedy of sorts. So talking to some of the societies that don't do enough and helping them to try and encourage new unathletic members, or not unathletic, but inexperienced members from joining, as well as trying to establish some kind of level of if it's specifically to do with unexperienced people, then yeah, that's what I would do. So yeah.
Fab, thank you very much. How will you seek to support and improve sports clubs' performances in tournaments such as Bucks in the year ahead?
Performance of the clubs themselves. I'm not sure what I would do. Probably just encourage turnouts and encourage people to come along and join, support the clubs that we've got and the brilliant events like Bucks. In terms of performance, I'm not too sure now.
That's okay. We'll leave that there. The last few years have seen some complaints about the way some sports clubs run their socials, such as circling and initiations. How would you ensure that execs create a safe environment for other students and do not abuse their power during socials?
I think it's probably one of the biggest barriers to sports. It's the kind of very toxic and very intense sporting events and circling, and obviously, like you're saying, the initiations as well. They're really quite pushing people away. And you see people on campus going through these initiations, and a lot of the time it's like, whoa, I don't want to do that. So how would I stop it, or how would I try and make it more inclusive? I wouldn't want to stop some of these events, because they are fun and a lot of people do enjoy them, which is brilliant, fair enough. But I would try and encourage societies that having more inclusive events will drive forward membership, and it would make every one of these societies more inclusive and accepting, which would be beneficial to all, because it means that you've got bigger turnouts at these clubs, and it'll be way better for the clubs, way better for people to feel more included. But in terms of the specifics, and in terms of like discrimination, because a lot of these events are quite discriminatory, so they kind of target maybe women in these events, LGBT people, BAME ethnicity backgrounds. So I think a lot of it is quite discriminatory, and it goes too far. And I think that is where we need to have these kind of sanctions. That is where we need to impose these kind of rules and regulations that are, hey, these are fun events, but when it goes too far, it goes too far, and that's not on. So, yeah.
Thank you very much. It's no secret that your candidacy was originally a joke candidacy. Why should you be taken seriously now?
I think it's a really, really good point. I did originally run as a joke, but then when I realised that I could properly make a difference to the area of sports on campus, I think I properly engaged with that, and I took loads of opinions, and I'm still taking loads of opinions from students and friends and sports officers. And I've got a lot of concerns and issues that people have raised with me, and I think that I can properly make a difference. Like what I've been saying, a lot of my views on these sorts of things aren't just what I think should happen because I think I know more than other people. These are real concerns that people have come to me and gone, "Hey, Ollie, if you're thinking of running for sports VP, here's why I couldn't get involved in sports, or here's a reason that my friends couldn't get involved in sports, or how I've been involved in sports, but it's been such a detriment to my bank account. I've been in my overdraft because of sports." So I'm not a voice of myself. I do think that I have been taking loads of opinions from other people and have brought them all together under this campaign. Where originally I was running as a joke, I am now properly dedicated to trying giving the best experience of sports to as many people on campus like I wasn't afforded to. So, yeah.
Thank you very much. Is there anything else that you'd like to say about your policies or yourself that people might like?
Yeah, I mean, I would just suggest, if anyone's a bit cautious about someone who might not be involved with voting for someone who might not be fully involved in sports as other people might be, have a look at my manifesto, see what you like, and if you don't like it, don't vote for me. Always Ron is an option. But I would say that coming into sports VP as not someone who's done sports before isn't always the worst thing. I'm not involved with sometimes toxic and elitist culture on campus, whereas other sports VPs might have. I'm not involved with. I don't come from masses of wealth where I was able to be affording a lot of the kits and the memberships and the federation fees. And so I think it gives me a unique perspective and something that I can actually strive to change. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Okay, thank you very much. That was Ollie Seal, the one and only candidate for Vice President of Sport at the SU elections 2020.
Thank you.
Thank you.